motherfuckers. Chris Holowicki coming at you with a new episode and a new title. Gotta fucking see it with Chris Holowicki.
That's good. That's smooth.
Very nice.
Yeah. Easy transaction.
And today I'm here with special guest who it's her debut on a Drunken Atheist studio production, Alyssa Sasson.
It sounds like I'm gonna be a famous star someday.
Maybe. I'm giving you a lot of hype right now.
Famous?
Maybe. We'll see.
It's a lot of pressure.
Well, how are you today?
I'm good.
Nice.
I'm drinking beer.
Yeah, we're drinking beer, we're talking movies. And what movie did we fucking see today? It's Kingsman 2!
We're from the Kingsman tailor shop in London. Maybe you've heard of us?
So, Alyssa, tell me, what did you think of Kingsman, the Golden Circle? Wait, before you answer that, me and Alyssa here are coming in with different perspectives. I am a huge fan of Kingsman the Secret Service, while Alyssa here hasn't even seen the original. So I'm very interested in seeing how this sequel, with these characters that have already been developed, came off to you.
I'm gonna be shunned from this video.
No, it's fine. You just haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of shit out there.
Great.
And the Kingsman is like not the thing, like the ultimate thing you have to see, but do you want to see the first one after seeing this?
Okay, to be fair, after seeing this, alright, if it was to be like you introducing me to this movie and we didn't see the second movie today,
Yeah?
I probably wouldn't have watched it. But seeing the second movie, I probably will now.
Okay.
It's gonna make more sense. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Awesome. I, as well, thought it was very good. And what's really fucked up about it was that going in, I was kind of a little wary, because if you look at where the movie stands on Rotten Tomatoes right now as I'm filming this, it's at a 50%.
I'll be honest, when I saw that, as soon as we talked about going, and I was like, shit, this is gonna suck.
And then, did you watch it, like, does it deserve a 50%?
Honestly, I didn't think so. But it's hard for me because I don't watch a lot of action movies. I classify this movie as a guy's movie. And I classify a lot of movies like this as a guy's movie. But I like movies that have action in them sometimes, like Crank and like...
You like Crank?
I love Crank.
Crank 2 is my favorite movie of all time.
I love Jason Statham.
We'll talk about that later. Alright, but Crank aside,
Sorry.
I see what you're saying when you say this is a more dude-centric movie, because it's definitely taking the most silliest parts of the 007 franchise and ramping them up a lot, and yeah, oh my gosh. This is going to be a spoiler review. We both like it, but we're gonna get into some shit right here.
Like, okay, for instance, if your girlfriend wants to go see a movie and she wants to go see a chick flick, and you tell her, oh no, we're gonna go see this instead, and you'll love it, you probably won't be getting laid at the end of the night. You know,
it definitely gets crude. I mean, when I brought up the spoiler, the tracker that you can only place in a mucus membrane or whatever they said, and I'm just watching. Are they seriously doing this? And I've never gone and seen a movie with you. We don't know each other that well.
I mean,
but we're going in here, and I'm just like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what the fuck movie did I just bring her to? Yeah, I'm just like, this is getting a little uncomfortable. But I'm glad you walked away mostly positive feelings.
Yeah,
it is definitely over the top on purpose.
To be fair though, it's very hard to offend me, and like on the levels of the movies that I've seen, this was like at the bottom of offensive. So like it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, there was just.
I can see where you're coming from.
They had a couple of similar jokes in the first one where even I was in the theaters and I'm sitting. I remember I saw it by myself and I was just like, one of these, like, a super crude moment goodbye. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Did that just happen? And this one just delivered just as well. But I think that's sort of something that I'm tend to appreciate about this series, which I hope it does good because I would love to see a third one.
I'm sure it will, because you know what? If there was a second one, that means that there's fans of the series.
And the star power in this one.
That's the other thing. After I looked at the trailer and I saw how many famous, notable actors are in it, I thought for sure it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that they're going to agree to film something that is not going to at least go somewhere. For those
Straight
big
up.
names.
And since we're on the subject of characters, let's move on to my
Segue.
next segment. My next segment that I just made up on the spot, because now this show has segments. And we're calling it the character segment.
Original.
Very good. I want to start off with my favorite character in the movie. Her name was Poppy. She was the main villain, and she was played by Julianne Moore, who she lives in the middle of the jungle or something in this tiny little compound where she's made it recreated to look like it's the 1950s or something, and it's really like a lot of bizarre stuff, and just she comes off as a very scary character and also fucking hilarious. Like
That's
everything
why it works.
I loved everything about it. Like I thought I
Yeah.
liked Julianne Moore before, but holy shit.
That's why it works, because she didn't make it all scary or all funny. It worked perfectly
Yeah.
with how she acted.
And I thought it was definitely a good follow-up villain to, which you haven't seen the first one, but you know that
Sorry.
Samuel Jackson was the main villain, and what they don't
That
show
was
you
the guy,
in
yeah.
the flashbacks is he played a character like a really heavy lisp, and he was like a software engineer. And he's like, and he convinced, I think it was like he was convincing people to inject chips in themselves, and then those chips make everyone go crazy and kill each other. So this one definitely lived up to the originals. The whole world is at stake, sort of thing.
Right. No, for sure.
A
A lot of it was like I appreciated the fact that it involved a lot of things that you could almost see happening in our modern society.
Yeah.
Especially with all the drug content. I mean, it's something
Yeah.
that you could picture somebody really sick doing.
Everybody who went and saw this movie was just like, holy fuck, I directly am the target of Julianne Moore's villain. And the president, who is the
Right.
president is sort of like the even bigger villain in this movie, because he's the one. Alright, it was supposed to be character talk, but we're talking story. We'll get back. We'll get back to characters. We're talking story now.
Sidetrack.
So basically, Julianne Moore has infected all of her drugs with this virus that makes these like blue veins go through your face. Like we've seen similar things. Like I think Samuel Jackson has like some like veiny type deal going through his face, and the Avengers franchise. But yeah. So she's poisoned all the drugs. And she says, if you guys don't hand over and legalize all drugs and make me basically the most powerful person in the world, being able to have the whole market, the whole drug market to myself, then everyone who has smoked weed or done heroin, coke, ecstasy, whatever, they're all gonna die. And it's a virus that spreads through you, and then eventually you start going manic, sort of like the Joker. There's definitely
Right.
some sort of nods to the Joker, until your eyes explode and blood sprays out of your face. It was really graphic, real brutal.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but it was like anyone, and this is like the prime audience of the Kingsman movie. It's
Right.
like people are fucking want to get stoned, get drunk, watch action movies, and show up, and they're just like, holy shit, man. Remember that blunt we smoked? What if that blunt would kill us like the Joker? And so yeah, it's basically Julianne Moore. That's her main world-ending plot. But to kick that off, she wipes out all the Kingsmen, blows up all their compounds. We see characters we loved from the last movie just die at the very beginning.
Wait, I'm gonna show you. Say goodbye to the Kingsman.
Kind of got a bit of a save the world situation.
Little dog, dead. Yeah. Also, his homie gets blown up. It's fucking crazy.
To be fair, though, to go back to what you were saying about how this like directly links to a lot of the people that are watching this movie, I think on the opposite side, there's also a lot of people that are watching the movie that are on the president's side and are on Poppy's side that are saying like,
sure,
you know what? Yeah, fuck them. They want to kill themselves with drugs. Let them die.
I could feel that too.
I feel like it could be both
this
sides.
isn't like a leftist libertarian legalize it directed movie. Like, this has a fan base across the board, and you know, I think it did it in a way that wasn't too preachy. It wasn't like it wasn't like fuck this side or fuck this side. It was just like people are powerful and evil, and we're all just ants that they're gonna step on. And that's why we need these Secret Service men, the statesmen, the Kingsmen to protect us and keep us from getting poison drugs.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Characters.
Yeah, does that sum up the story pretty good?
Yeah.
That reveal was probably wasted on you out when they showed that Colin Firth was still alive, though, right? But didn't I mention it? I whispered to you.
Okay.
I whispered to you, I'm like, he
known.
died in the last movie.
Alright. Okay. How do I say this? So, I'm relatively perceptive when it comes to that stuff, even if I haven't seen like the original or the prequel, whatever.
Sure.
I
and that's their job to set it up. That movie needs to stand on its own without you having to see it.
I would have gotten immediately after everybody was so shocked that Colin Firth was there that they're like, oh, so this is a surprise. I'm sure he must have died or something.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten it even if Chris didn't tell me. But I mean, you know.
Sure.
It helped having you there just
Since we're on the thing of Colin Firth, let's jump back into my segment called the character segment. How do you think they handle? So basically, he's a character amnesia, and he's working through all this stuff. I, for one, thought that all that butterfly stuff and how they worked it through it, and like how they tried to like bring up trauma for him to like unlock everything. I thought that it was really cool the way he did that, and that's one of the things. Besides the action and a lot of the other direction things, like how Matthew Wagner handled that whole thing and how he like dipped back and forth between his amnesia and stuff. Even though I don't know if that's scientifically accurate, but as a film watcher, it was like, wow.
Somewhat. I mean,
you kind of guess like,
not wrong.
Yeah, like you're like, is he making the right move here, or is he still like loopy or something?
But I disagree just to a certain extent, and this is only, and it might just be because I didn't see the first movie that I was a little bit lost on this part. But you were telling me, and you were explaining that he wanted to study butterflies and everything before he went into the army. I was just confused.
I don't remember that from the last movie.
Okay, because I was just confused that like all of a sudden he had all of these like past memories that actually happened, and he wanted to get home to his butterflies, and it seemed like that was the direction it was going.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I thought that he never
conveniently
did this
forgot
butterfly
everything
thing.
else.
It was just very. That was the only part.
I guess he did have butterflies with his. He didn't kill his dog, by the way.
No, that
was his taxidermy dog that got old. But
I got that.
He did have butterflies. I see on the flashback he had butterflies all over his house, which I think Eggsy was living in.
Okay.
Before he got blown up, he inherited the house, and excuse me. Yeah, but what do you think about Colin Firth's? So yeah, that was kind of a little dicey. You only remember the butterfly stuff. You don't remember being a secret agent.
I was like, wow, you like butterflies a lot.
Yeah,
like
enough to forget all of the
butterflies.
times you almost got killed.
I wish I liked anything as much as Colin Firth liked butterflies.
Do you think that he handled the material well as an actor, though? Because they handed it to him.
Absolutely.
I believed it. Like, there was something in his eyes that when he remembered, he's like, I'm back, motherfucker.
But I think Colin Firth is an awesome actor.
I've
always appreciated him in every film that he's done. But I'm so used to seeing him in romantic comedies that to see him in this and to do such a good job, I was blown away. He was awesome.
Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. And that bar scene where he gets called the F word.
Yeah.
Not the fuck word. The gay one. I just don't want to say it. I'm trying to be PC.
I'm offended.
The one that's disparaging towards, the gays. which is offensive.
You were gonna say the F word.
I wasn't gonna say it. You thought it.
I was ready.
I will slow it down.
I was like,
you say, I said the gays. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to Channing Tatum, which from the look of the trailers, we thought we were gonna get a lot of that handsome man in this movie. But what do they do?
We got a lot of him laying in bed.
Yeah. Was he wearing a shirt?
He was wearing a shirt in bed, wasn't he? That's sad that I.
If he didn't have no shirt, if he did not have the shirt on, then they made a huge mistake.
Damn.
There was like one, maybe when he was dancing, was he scantily clad? Like, was he just wearing shorts?
Well, he was wearing spandex. He was wearing a lot of spandex.
Oh, hear that, ladies? This movie ain't just for the guys.
or if you are the F word.
Yeah. Or, I guess it could be appealing. I know there's a lot of Magic Mike fans out there in
is that your southern accent?
The gays
That's
community. Is it good?
That's great.
Oh, good. Hey, I'm good at doing one
Kingsman.
accent. Yeah.
Audition.
So, Channing Tatum was basically MIA for most of this film. I kind of feel like that was a little bit of false advertising. We like him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Channing was a no-show.
Pretty much.
Jeff Bridges was fine. Yeah, I didn't know it was him.
I mean, we
well,
saw
he didn't have a big role.
I get it.
Channing should have been out there having action scenes along with Pedro Pascal, who we definitely know who that is because we're into diversity in film.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was more Channing Tatum. No, Pedro Pascal was great.
Was good.
Skipping rope?
It's a lasso.
I'm not familiar with his work, but he carried the role. But they made it seem like we were going to see more Channing Tatum.
They might have maybe wanted to get you into the movie, but
if Colin Firth shot whiskey in the head right in front of Channing Tatum, that would have kind of complicated the storyline. So hopefully they're setting him up. He'll be around next time.
There we go.
Jeff Bridges played his little role fine. What did we think of Halle Berry? I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't like a big role. She was kind of in the background. She didn't really. She wasn't topless. She didn't.
Do you ever see Swordfish?
Of course, I've seen Swordfish.
I own that DVD and VHS, probably. She did it.
Her age.
She's fine.
True.
She did it good.
She looks good for her age.
Oh, Halle Berry's a total fox.
Yeah.
Do not get me confused. But just her in this movie, she wasn't my favorite, but I wasn't not happy to see her.
I mean,
she did it. She did it fine. Mark Strong, who, spoiler alert, he dies in this movie. Steps on a landmine, but I think he went out in a very glorious fashion.
Dude, that was honestly one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. So at least he went out with a bang.
Oh no.
Ha ha! Get it?
But
Returning character from the first movie, who I don't remember the name, but I'm gonna call him Robot Arm. He lost his arm in the last movie at the very end, so he was part of the training team where they were competing to see who was going to be part of the Kingsman. He turned evil. He's still around. He wasn't recognizable because they shaved his head, so I didn't recognize him. But then I figured it out later. That fight scene, Robot Arm versus Eggy. That was fun as fuck. That was a good fight scene. The CGI, there was some of the CGI was a little bit off, but when he's shooting that arm around, that all looked legit.
You know what? Everything's come so far in movie technology that like anything at this point looks better than it has years ago. So I'm still impressed. I don't even know if there's some faults. Straight up.
Elton John.
That's the most important part of this movie. In
Yeah.
fact, I think that there should be more Elton John in this movie. That was by far the best surprise.
He sold it.
I mean, absolutely, by far.
There's one thing. The thing about the Kingsman comic book, which is called the Secret Service or whatever, is the first storyline in the book is about Mark Hamill. Literally Mark Hamill getting kidnapped. Instead, in the first Kingsman movie, it's about a scientist who's played by Mark Hamill getting kidnapped. And the end of the movie is all the celebrities and stuff are like locked up, and Samuel Jackson, he's put chips in everybody. They're gonna kill everybody except for the elite. So this series is very much about like, look at the elite, look at the celebrities, look at how different they are.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess, when you think about it that way, but it was a good choice.
All the Elton John stuff was great.
He's a good sport for playing it like he did, though, because, well...
Oh, yeah. He's like, what have you done to me, you bitch?
I mean, to be fair, it was probably fun for him. I mean, this very, like, flamboyant musician that plays in Vegas, like, I mean, to play a role like this, he was probably like, hell yeah, I'll do it. I don't even care how much you pay me.
Straight up. It was awesome to see Elton John. Fun fucking stuff. What else do we got on the thing? Oh, the action and the effects. And as I said before, Matthew Wagner, you got that action down. You like how the cameras like spin around their heads, like they just do, or how they throw them in the meat, the meat thing.
It was great.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Okay, but to be fair, that's saying that from somebody who hasn't watched a lot of action movies. But I mean, to appreciate it when I don't really know much about it, I still think so.
Some fun stuff where they have the machine gun coming out of the briefcase. And
We've got brains, skills.
Fuck yeah. And the umbrella stuff.
That was good.
I love the cool umbrellas. It's so fun. They make weapons out of all these hoity-toity Brit things.
The way it should be.
Yeah. I was kind of actually disappointed the whiskey turned out to be a bad guy. But you know, I liked how he wasn't a double agent. He was. No, he had his own motivation,
his own agenda, like not working for anybody. He was literally like, "Fuck everybody!" Like, no, they're not working my time.
I'm here to get rid of
money, and that was.
No, it wasn't as he wanted. It was revenge because his wife got killed.
Well, technically.
Yeah, and he didn't have nothing to gain off it. He just wanted everyone who did drugs to die, even if it meant Channing Tatum.
I mean, well.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, that they're not completely one-sided. Like, even though he is really misguided in how he's gonna let all these people who just use recreational drugs die, it's like, they show a thing like how drugs have hurt people, and then they also show how the government is like doing the war on drugs, and it's really, like, you think about it's multifaceted, and I think that fuck Rotten Tomatoes. They hate on sequels. I thought this movie, like, we missed.
No matter what.
We missed the opening action scene, and I was just like, wow. I genuinely want to see this movie again. Would you watch it again?
I probably would. Yeah. No, okay, not in theaters because I'm not really somebody that goes to see movies twice in theaters. But once it comes out, I'm sure I'll watch it again. Would you recommend it to a friend? Probably, depending on what friend it was. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think I'd recommend it to my mother. But I mean, would you say to a friend that likes action movies and even somebody who can appreciate them in the right format? Yeah, I would. So thumbs up? Are we doing it two thumbs up? Which is our new rating system on Drunken Atheist. Gotta fucking see it with Chris Holowicki. We're gonna get sued by Roger Ebert. He's dead. We're still gonna get sued. Both dead. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you to my special guest, Alyssa Sasson. I think this video panned out very well. We had a good dialogue, right? Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, and yeah, until next time, everybody. Bye.